Hello and welcome to today's Clarity Reset. Today we are talking about the real assets of our business. So this week is part of a 5-day business clarity audit. This is day 3. You can do each one of these separately, or you can do them, all of them, and they work anyway. So this week, so far, we've started with the gut check, which is kind of the honest feeling underneath everything. And then we looked at the drain, like what's been costing you more than what it's been giving you back. And so today we're going to kind of flip that script and look at what's actually working and what has worked before that deserves a second look. So today is going to be about like the real strengths, the things that have shown up consistently, and then the wins that got left behind, maybe before they had a chance to fully land or develop. We're going to name those things. And so, first, we're going to get grounded. So, I invite you to get cozy in your chair and soften your gaze or close your eyes. Plant your feet flat on the floor. And let your arms and hands rest somewhere that they feel supported. We're going to take some breaths together. So, a deep breath in through your nose. Hold it. And out through your mouth. In through your nose. Hold it. And out through your mouth. In through your nose. And out through your mouth. Let your breathing return to normal. And I just want you to notice how today's energy feels a little different than the last couple of days. Maybe a little more direct, maybe more awake. Let yourself match whatever that energy is. Notice if you have any tension or stressful spots in your body. You don't necessarily have to change them. Just notice. Maybe you're holding something else. Maybe you feel your heart beating particular, or you feel an openness in your chest. Just notice any of those things. If you're clenching your jaw, stop it. Let your jaw relax. Let your shoulders relax. And I want you to think about your business, the best parts of it, the parts that are working. We're going to take a few more breaths together. So a deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth, in through your nose, out through your mouth. And one more deep in through your nose. And this time, exhale longer than the inhale. Really let it all out. When you feel present and ready, open your eyes, come back to the room, and grab your journal. The first thing I want you to do is brain dump. So for the next 2 minutes, there's no theme, no filter. Anything that comes to mind, any word that pops into your head, just write it down. Total nonsense is just fine. Whatever's running through your head right now goes on the page. About a minute left. Whatever's there, just write it down. Doesn't have to make sense. Just keep on going. We do this just to clear out whatever's in the way of whatever your answers will be for the next prompts. Just get that chaos out of there. Okay. You can stop now. And the first question that I want for you to answer in your journal: what in your business is actually working right now? What in your business is actually working right now? And write everything that comes to mind, whether it's big, small, detailed, not detailed, although you should probably get detailed. But just write it all down. And you have 4 minutes to work on this. And again, you want to write everything that comes to mind. You don't have to qualify it or compare it to anything. It could be clients that you've served well. It could be systems that are holding up really good in your business. It could be skills that you are consistently executing, relationships that are really solid, content that lands, offers that feel right. If it's working in any way, it belongs on this list. And you want to filter it for true, not impressive. Couple more minutes left. So again, what in your business is actually working right now? All of it. And if you're stuck, I'll give you some more examples. It could be clients that you've served really well. It could be systems that are working out really good in your business, maybe workflows that you really like or enjoy using, and they're really effective. It could be some skills that you have that are showing up consistently in your work. It could be relationships that you have, with mentors or coaches or with adjacent businesses, or even with clients, partnerships. Maybe it's some content that you've been creating, it's been working, offers that land. If it's working, it belongs here, and you got about 45 seconds left. Okay, wrap that one up. We are ready for the next one. So the next question is this: what has worked really well in the past that you've stopped doing, moved away from, or left behind before it had a chance to fully develop? What has worked really well in the past that you've stopped doing, moved away from, or left behind before it had a chance to fully develop? So we're doing a little harvesting here. Sometimes our best assets are just kind of lying dormant. This could be an offer that got some small traction, but didn't land all the way before. Um, but it was getting traction. It could be, something that you implemented and it was working, and then you kind of got distracted by a shiny new object. Squirrel happened. Um, could be an approach that felt more natural before, but you convinced yourself it wasn't enough or it wasn't going to work out. This could be the thing that worked before you overthought it. So, this is just all about identifying what's in your archive that might deserve to come back. You have a couple more minutes left, so keep going. Okay, so again, what has worked really well in the past that you've stopped doing, moved away from, or left behind before it had a chance to fully develop? You have about a minute left to start wrapping it up. Okay, wrap that one up. And the next question is this. I want you to look at what you've written across the last two prompts, look back at all those, and find the common thread. So look back at all of that and what is the common thread? What type of work or client or a format or what approach keeps showing up in your wins, past and present? And you might be able to recognize in this, like, what the thing underneath it all is that's actually generating your best results. So again, what what's the work or the kind of client or the format of your work or the approach that keeps showing up in these wins, in these lists that you've created in the last two prompts? Okay, we got about a minute left. So again, what's the common thread between what's working now and what has worked in the past? What's the thing that's underneath it all? Is there something in common that actually generates your best results? Okay, start wrapping it up. Okay. And finally, I want you to finish this sentence. If I built the next phase of my business around what I just identified, the first thing I would do differently is blank. And write the whole thing out. There's some magical thing that happens when you write the whole thing out rather than just the answer. If I built the next phase of my business around what I just identified, the first thing I would do differently is blank. So as you're wrapping this one up, I just want to say that the best thing you could build next might actually already exist somewhere in what you're doing now or what you've already done. And so that's why we want to look back at things that might have worked really well in the past that we got away from, and also really take a solid look at what we're doing right now that's working, because some things might not be getting the attention that they deserve. And so if anyone would like to share, I'd love to hear how it landed for you, but you are not required to by any means necessary.
Okay, I can never be quiet. Okay. Well, you know what? What's working for me is that I have a different mindset about engaging with the people in my community. I'm treating it more like how I engage with people in the schoolyard.
Mm-hmm.
Before I was thinking, oh no, I have to be more professional. I have to be more this or that and just provide information. But everything I hear from people who have been successful is it's developing the personal relationships with the members of the community.
Mm-hmm.
So so now that I want to build, because it's fairly new for me, that I'm actually engaging. Now, when I want to build my classroom, I want to make it more personable instead of this generic,
Ah.
okay, this and this, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like instead
So,
of it just being kind of a glossary of like
right,
just a collection of like links and resources, it would be more intimate.
intimate, yes. So I'm looking at it differently now and not so fearful of what I should do. Whereas before it was like, I have no idea what I'm doing here.
And over time, like learning your business, learning how you community,
Right.
um I think you had to grow into it to make sure and to reassure yourself that like this does feel good with the way I'm doing this business, and you had to give yourself permission to be totally you in it,
Yes.
rather than some contrived thing that you think everybody else wants.
Right, right, yes, you're right. You hit
Yeah.
it on the head. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yep, I've been watching this growth happening and I love it. It's been so awesome to watch.
Thank you.
You're
Much,
welcome.
much credit to you.
Aw, thank you. I appreciate you for that.
Yeah,
But
I
and ditto, like we continue to learn from each other in this
right,
space.
right.
And I think anybody who ever watches any of the clarity resets going back will can see it.
Yes,
Um, it's been a pretty incredible journey so far.
yes, yes, for both of us.
Awesome. How about for you, Emmy?
Have something similar. So what I would do differently is stop treating like visibility and relationships and trust building like a side task. Like I need to focus on making genuine connections more.
Yep.
Like create space for it instead of filling in my capacity as if it's like a side task or something. Yeah.
Yep. I'm writing that down because I like that. Yeah. I mean, and I think, we get wrapped into like these are the things that we have to do to keep our business going. And I don't know, sometimes I find myself like getting away from people, um, trying to do all the task stuff, and then I'm like, but wait a minute, like everything that I'm doing is for the people. And both of you are nailing it. Like it's really about the human connection. And
Yeah.
not just on Skool. I mean, I know Skool is like the community platform, it's like the best place to do this, but in our businesses in general. And actually, I wrote something similar down, to be honest with you. I even wrote down that my common thread was communicating with clarity, and also that, like, that engagement, the back and forth engagement, really connecting with like potential clients, and then other people who are doing similar work, and just people in general.
Yes.
Because there's so many people who I meet who maybe they're not going to ever be my client. They probably won't be, but they might know somebody who they'll meet and be like, hey, you guys would work well together. And then there are people who I meet out there who I'm like, I would love for them to work with this other person who maybe they don't do the thing that I need. Like, Emmy, it's a perfect example. Your work isn't the thing I need. But I would absolutely recommend you to someone who does need that, And so
Yeah.
these connections are just so important.
Yes.
Even though it's easy to get like wrapped up in the day-to-day of our businesses and the operational back end stuff,
Right.
For sure.
Yeah.
On kind of like a side tangent, I was obviously doom scrolling at like 1 o'clock in the morning, as I do. And something had popped up about like the Alex Hormozy and Tony Robbins interview. Have you seen it yet?
No.
I don't think I've seen that one. Was this like
So
a couple of months ago?
no, it was a few days ago, I think.
Oh, then
Because so basically Alex Hormozy took it off of his platforms. So now you can't find it anymore, but other people have screenshot it now. And so I ended up finding it last night and listening to it. And Tony Robbins was basically saying the exact same thing, that you have to build a greater connection within your business. Like, he was mostly speaking to Alex, like, yes, you've done it. You've made, thousands and thousands of dollars or millions and millions of dollars or whatever. But you're just writing checks. You're not building that deeper connection within what you're doing. So it was definitely an interesting watch.
Wow.
I do remember somebody bringing that up because someone posted about it in Schoolers, I think, and it might have even been Jack, but it was somebody posted in Schoolers and said, hey, there was an interview and I can't find it now. Where is it? And like, at Alex Hormozy.
I'll message you and send you the link.
Yeah.
The YouTube channel link. Yeah.
And I appreciate that. I mean, it sounds almost like it was a call out by Tony Robbins. And I appreciate that because, maybe our businesses grow to something where we're at like Alex Hormozy level, where it's like, we don't even have to ever show up and do anything ever again. And we're set. Right.
Yeah.
But, and I've seen this in communities where the community owner becomes really detached, even if they have a call every week or something. They start to not know really what's going on inside of their community anymore, and they don't really feel like a part of it, even though the community itself has such a a culture going on. There's one in particular I'm thinking of. No, it's not the schoolyard, of course, but there's one in particular I'm thinking of, and I'm like, the person who runs that community just seems so detached, like the floating head, and like they're totally out there, and I see them out there and they're around the community, but they're not actually in it and connecting with people. And not liking people's comments and not commenting back to them, but they're like the figurehead, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I've been noticing that lately in some spaces. And I think that's an important thing, to keep in touch with. I love that you brought that up.
mean, Tony
Yeah.
Robbins is like worth like 12 billion or something like that now. And so he was like, I don't need anything. Like, I have private jets, and I'm aware that my private jet kills trees and all those things, but I do it for the greater good because I'm doing XYZ. So he builds like this he finds businesses and also connects it with how he can support community and people, and bring like the human side to it.
That's great.
Yeah, I think he's incredible. And I watched one of his summits, or I'm not sure what it was called, and it was a few months ago. And I mean, I was dancing all over the bus. He's just so much. And then in between, I'm like, yeah, he's good. And then you see him again and you're like, man, and it's like you just want to like launch into space, you know? I mean, he's so good.
Yeah.
He's so good. Yeah, so I love that. I love this common thread, and you're right. I think one of the most important assets that we have in our business, it's the people in it. It's the connections that we have. And not just connections because we want something, connections because it's true human interaction and connection. And it lifts all of our vibrations, you know? And that's ultimately what we're doing here anyway, right? So
yeah. And for me as a solid introvert, this is just completely different for me. You know, it's like you're actually speaking to people, you're actually engaging with people. So it's such a surprise to me that, you know, I can change slowly, but I can change. So yeah, it's a big surprise to me.
Yeah. Yep. And you know, the other part of this is that connection, you know, sometimes it feels draining depending on who you're connecting with, but
Right.
oftentimes it doesn't, you know, and it just depends on the quality of your connections with people, who they are, and how you vibe with somebody. And it might be that like I connect really awesome with someone and one of you might not connect at all with them. And it doesn't really reflect anything bad on anybody. It's just that
No.
we all kind of vibe in different spaces and with different people in different ways. And so just to be aware of how that is too, and how that can, you know, not drain us. Cause I tend toward introvert too, especially these days. So I get that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to
Yeah.
people with the wrong people.
With the wrong people. Yeah.
Yeah.
You would think at my age I would have learned that early, but a little slow here.
No, you're right on time. You are right on time, Eveline. I think we all are in our own way. So, well, is there anything either of you would like to add to this session? I love this. I love where we went with this. And I love where we landed with this, but if there's anything more you would like to add, I'd love to hear it. But if not, we'll close it up.
Okay. So nice to meet you, Emily.
Nice to meet you too. The only thing that I have to add is I finished my certification for becoming a postpartum doula and newborn care specialist. And I just got the certification a couple days ago.
Oh, congratulations.
Got us with the win.
Hey, oh, congrats. Oh, what a great job. Yeah, see, I got on late, so I didn't know what you do, but oh, that's such a beautiful field. Oh, how rewarding. Congratulations.
You are both doing really awesome things, by the way. Like both of very different, but like both of you. It's like just soul work. I love it.
Yes, yes. Oh, well, congratulations to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Well, without further ado, I will wrap this up, and I would love for you two to connect in the community and like learn more about what you're both doing and how all that works. But I'm sure you'll see each other in more of these coming up too. So
great.
Sounds great.
I hope you have the best
day. Have a good one, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.